Hey guys, Adam here from Board at Home, and in today's episode of Jumping Let's Play, we're going to take a look at Bunny Kingdom. This is one of my favourite games at the moment. I love playing it, can't get enough of it. It's got card drafting, it's got strategy, and hopefully you'll see why I love it so much. So before we get into it, see, we've got everything set up, so we'll briefly go over the whole setup. So we'll start with the game board itself. So you can see it's laid out in a grid pattern, with numbers and letters similar to an actual map, so we've got a point of reference there. We've also set up all the cities across the map as well, so these are all our starting cities, and then you can see on here there are areas that have different symbols on them. These are areas of the map that produce their own resources, and these will be very important, as will the castles, in determining your score at the end of each round. And then to the right here we've got our victory track. So that will be able there for you to keep an eye on all of your points as you progress through the 4 rounds. And then at the top here, finally, we've got our deck of cards that we'll be drawing from throughout the game. Our size 3 castles, our size 2 castles, our size 1 castles. We have our sky fortresses, which allow you to connect 2 fiefs, and our camps that allow you to temporarily claim an area. And then we've got 2 types of resources here. Our unique special resources and our standard resources, one of which is a wild one, which can be used for any one of the 3 normal resources. And for our starting players, we've got 3 here. So they've got their piles of rabbit tokens, and they each start with a deck of, or hand of 12 cards here. So it's played over 4 rounds. Within each round you have 3 different phases. So we have our exploration phase. So this is where we are drafting the cards and where we're placing our rabbit tokens on the grid if we get cards that do that. And then we have a construction phase and then a harvest phase. So we'll start with player 1, the black rabbits here, and then we can give you an explanation of the cards as well. So here are his cards. So we'll just have a quick look through, just so you can see the lovely artwork on them, and then we can explain them. So if they have a number and a letter up in the corner, this will tell you where on the grid that they need to go. So this one would be J1, which is in the corner here, which has a resource on it. Here we have G9. So if we go to G9, you'll see that it has a size 1 castle on there. Here we have a couple of parchments. So these are hidden until the end of the game, the very end of the game, and these will give you secret objectives to complete, or they'll just give you an instant reward of golden carrots, which gets added to your final points. Here we have a resource card, so this will allow you to take the appropriate building token from here and place it on the card, and then when you get to your building phase, you'll be able to use this to place it on any square that your rabbit token is on, provided it doesn't already have a building or a building token on it. And we have a camp there, so that will allow you to temporarily place your rabbit anywhere on the grid. But if someone then draws the cards for that, including yourself, for that grid, then they will take it over. And yeah, that's all of those. So if more come up with these 2, we will show you. So we're not going to spend too much time on this because we're not playing a full game. So let's go through. So let's start off. He's going to go C3 and C4. So he's going to keep these 2 cards. They're going to stay with him. These cards we're just going to put out of the way down here for now, so we know that they're ready to hand over to the next player. So player 2 is going to take a look through his cards here. So if we have a quick look through. So he might actually, let's go for the Royal Scepter. So we're going to hold on to that until the very end of the game, and he's going to go for this to place a size 1 castle somewhere on the board. again, those will just go away for now, and then this player here will have a look through and see what he wants. So we think that what he's going to do is take G10 and H10 because they're next to each other. So now that that's happened, all the cards get passed over to the next player, and then we take a look at our cards. So here he's got C3 and C4. So we place them appropriately. So he's put his cards on the map, and these are now discarded. They are of no further use to us. This player here, so he's got his royal scepter, so that's going to stay hidden. And then he's got this. So what we're going to do with this is take one of the size 1 castles, place it on here so that we know for the building phase we've got something to place. You can hold on to these throughout the entire game until the last round, because you can only place these on a grid or a square that you do own. And then the last player here, he's got G10 and H10, so he gets his 2 rabbit tokens there. So that's all done for him as well, so those get discarded. We then take a look at the next lot of cards. So we go through here. Let's say that he's going to go for a size 2 castle, and then he's going to go for, say, G2, so that gives him another castle as well. This player here, he hasn't got anything anywhere yet, but he's going to take J1, and then he's going to go for G1, and that stays off to one side. This player here, he's going to go for, let's say, H3, and he's going to go for a royal ring, which gives him a bonus at the end. So all the players have got their cards. These get handed over again. We then go through and take a look at the cards here. Okay, so he has got G2, so he places his here, and he also has a size 2 castle to put down as well. So he takes his size 2 castle, leaves it there, and that's him done for this turn. You go to this player here, so he has got J1, which places him here. He then also has G1, which places him here. And then, so this player, he's had his scepter, so he's going to put that there. Then he has got H3, so he's going to go here. Okay, so we're going to keep doing that as the cards run out, and then once all the cards run out, we move to the building phase. Right guys, so we paused it, just did the rest of that round. So obviously you got an idea of how it looked. So now we've got bunnies out on the world map there, all over the place. If we look at our player areas, we've got different buildings for each player. So they've got a nice variety of buildings here actually. And then some of them have got their secret parchments for the end of the game as well. So what happens in this phase is we then take our bunnies. I've just put these on here just to indicate what colour they are, just in case. So let's take those off for these ones. So with these, we now start placing these on areas that we control. So we'd start with our size 2, and again that will get discarded now. So let's go here for our size 2. So it produces a natural resource, and we've got a size 2 on there. And these two require us to own an area that is a mountain. Fortunately, we do have 2 of those, so we can place both of them. And all we do simply is put them like so. So that is him done for his construction phase. We move over to the red player. So let's take the little things off to the indicators. So first up we have this, which produces any one resource. So we're going to put that here. That's done. We then got a castle to place, just a size 1 castle. But we are then going to put that with this guy here. So that now has a little building on it. And our camp, so we can show you exactly what camps do. So let's take the token off. We're going to put that here. So we temporarily own this space. Obviously we haven't drawn the card for this, which means that somewhere in our deck of cards, our draw pile, there is going to be, or the possibility this space is going to come up for someone and they may take it, or equally you may get it and keep it, and you can permanently own that space. So let's move over to the last player here, the yellow player. So he's got a size 3 castle. Fortunately, we can place it because it requires a mountain. We do have a mountain, so that is going to go up there. We then have here a unique resource. So we're going to take that and we're going to put that on this gentleman right here. And finally, we have another camp. So this one we are going to put on, let's say, here, to connect this up as a fief. So now that we are done with our construction phase, we head over to the harvest phase. Now with the harvest phase, it is relatively simple. If I just bring out this card here for you, so this will explain it perfectly. So in our harvest phase, the points of our fief is our strength, which is the sum of all the towers, times its wealth, which is a number of different resources. So if we come down to red, let's just take a look at him here. So because we've got the camp that is temporarily connected, these two, we can take a look at the size of the strength, which at the moment is 1, and our number of resources. So we've got, or unique resources rather, so we've got 2 woods, so we can only count one of those, but we do have a wild here, so we can count it as either a carrot or a fish. So we'll use fish for the time being, which means that this would score him 2 points. So on our victory tracker, points tracker, he's going to go to 2 points. We're then going to do this for the rest of the bunnies. So if we take a look, say up here for example, so we've got a nice little collection with the black bunnies. We've got 1 resource here and 1 resource here. We can't count this one because it's the same as the other. So we've got 2 resources there, and we've got a sum of 3 in total on our castle. So that is going to score 6 points. So he's going to go here. And then for our yellow, we'll take a look at this one here. So this is temporarily connecting us between this one and this one. So this is going to form as a fief. So we've got 1 unique resource here, we've got a unique resource here, and we've got a size 3. So again, we've got 3 times 2 there. So that is going to also score us 6 points. I'll point out some of the others that we didn't score on. So for example, these ones that are sitting by themselves count as a fief of 1. Oh, sorry, we did miss this one out here. So that's going to score him 1 point because it's 1 times 1. So we'll put him up. So if they're by themselves and the fief doesn't have a resource in it, or it doesn't have a castle at all in it, then you don't score any points. It will either be a strength of 0 times a wealth with a value, which will be 0, or a strength up to 3 times 0 if you have no resources, which again will be 0. So we keep doing that until we've gone through all 4 rounds. Once you've done that, you then take a look at these cards here that you may have accrued during the course of the game. You'll then take a look and see what you've scored for them. So some of them like this will just score you 3 points or 6 points, 1 point. So you can just add that to your total. You'll then take a look. So Hercingetorix is going to score us 1 for each fief we control, which means that any odd ones that are just sitting by themselves is still going to score you a point at the end of the game. This one is asking for resources. So for each wood that we produce. So if we were at the end of the game, reds would be scoring 6 from these because it's 2 per resource that we have. And that is the basics of the game. It's quite fast paced once you get into the swing of things. There's not a lot of rules, so it's not very involved too much, but there is some thinking to do, especially when you're preparing how you're going to expand your fiefs. If you do have any questions about this game, do come into the shop or call us on 01843 316 281. We'll be happy to discuss the game with you, any questions that you do have. And so, yeah, until then, I hope you enjoyed. It'd be great to see you playing this in the boardroom, and happy gaming, guys.